St. James, of course, also coached at Tulane, Chalmette, Rummel, Bonneville, now an analyst for our original prep football report Friday nights, 6 p.m. to midnight on WGSO and 10 stations statewide. Contributes as a columnist for SportsNova.com and serves as co-host with Renee of the Prep Recruiting Insider show on WHNO TV 20. Great to have you with us. Great to welcome our friend Rick Gaille. Rick?
Thank you, Ken, and thank you for the opportunity to be up here. Tell you a little bit about working with Renee. It's really been a joy to work with somebody that prepares like a coach does, that he does his research and does his planning and all the arranging, and after all that's done, he worries constantly and gives us more things to worry about until, as I used to say, till a national anthem plays, and then you can settle into the game. But he's been really great to work with because of his preparation. But you can tell he has a very dynamic personality. I jokingly say that he's the type of person that makes coffee nerds, because he's just all over the place, and I'm constantly being admonished on the air to have more energy, have more energy, have more energy. Now, you know that commercial that they have right now that some characters should never have an energy drink? Where do you think they got that idea from? It's pretty amazing, but it's certainly a joy. In fact, I'll make it easy for you to find our show. At 6 o'clock, just set your TV to WHNO, because you have Sports NOLA TV on Monday, got something else on Tuesday, got Prep Recruiting Insider on Wednesday, John 4K on Thursday, and then on. So WHNO at 6 o'clock is a great place to tune in. In looking at the Saints, what a difference 99 hours can make. Before the Green Bay game, we're going, what's going on? 99 hours later, after the Carolina game, we're going, we're number one. All the things that were going wrong before, and it was just a litany of things over and over. What's the matter with this training camp? They're not excited. All of a sudden, we're not hearing that as much with a couple of dramatic wins. And there's some very tangible reasons why that has occurred. It is very obvious that the Saints are playing faster than they did before the break. When they had the bye, they look ponderous at times, both offensively and defensively, and somewhat in the kicking game. You saw the speed pick up against Detroit, and now it's really starting to come into play. Ingram, of course, has made a big difference. Where'd this guy come from all of a sudden? Not only making people miss for the first time, but running with an attitude. Running with attitude, not an attitude. That started last year in the second to last game and carried through the playoffs. And Ingram running tough and running with attitude has carried over to the rest of the offense, and now they've become not only a faster team, but a stronger power running team. If you go back and look at the end of both the Green Bay and the Carolina games, they had defenders from the opposition that didn't want to get off the ground. So he's running with great power and stinging people and making people miss. And I think he had 57 carries in a 99-hour span. I know that's the Saints record. Nobody's carried the ball that much in that short period of time. That's a ridiculously short period of time. Sean Payton was exactly right in complaining about it, because Carolina had an 8-hour advantage in having their players recover for the next game. And in professional football, those guys take a beating. Every single hour matters in you being able to recover and prepare for the next game. Cam Newton became Clark Kent last week. He wasn't Superman anymore. Less than stellar in his performance. You're looking at the Saints defense, of course, playing faster as they've gotten simpler. Rob Ryan has done something astonishing. Usually when you overload a team with scheme, they get slower, and it's hard to back off of that. It's very easy to give a team too much stuff to do, and it's very difficult to cut back from that point, because they get overloaded mentally. Because thinking is bad for the feet. If you have to consciously think about what you're doing and it's not habitual, you're going to have doubt, you're going to have hesitation, you're going to play slower. That's what practice is all about. Practice is to eliminate hesitation and to play faster. And you've seen that as they've either cut back on the schemes, or they've packaged schemes together to tie things in more easily. It's hard to remember 100 different things. But if you take those 100 different things and put them into groups of 4, now it becomes much easier to tie things together, and they've certainly done that. When you're looking at some of the backups and how well they've done over the past weeks, when you look at Ramon Humber, especially when you look at Tim Lolito, how he stepped in for Jonathan Goodwin, and what a great example Jonathan Goodwin has set. And I can't wait for him to come back, because he still has the skills and the desire to be a terrific player. And in the NFL, you hear this a lot, don't you? Oh, he'll be a good locker room presence. He'll be good in the locker room. You know, the only time that counts is when you can play. If you're not a good player and you're not out there playing, you're not an influence anymore. Jonathan Goodwin has certainly been that, as Lolito has gotten significantly better. So the backups have played a big, big role. Travaris Cadet is another one in a fill-in role. Corey White has stepped in, and he's getting better every week as his technique discipline improves. And they've simplified things for him. When he gets in trouble, it's not because he's not going fast. It's not because he doesn't want to. He's got great speed, great energy, great desire, but his technique discipline isn't there. He'll be looking in the backfield when he's supposed to be looking at a receiver combination. He'll be looking at the receivers when he's supposed to be looking in the backfield. That's getting much better interceptions in each of the last 2 games. Looking forward, tough 3-game stretch here for the Saints. However, they may not be able to win 3 in a row, but they can win 1 game this week. And that's the only thing that matters. And with the 49ers coming in, here's what you got to do. And they're having some trouble right now. You got to punch them in the nose, just like you would any bully, and physically stand up to them. And then the rest of the football team can take over and be very successful. So I look forward. The Saints are starting to play like I thought they would play. They are becoming what I thought they could become. And even with the rough stretch early in the year, they have a very good chance to get where they want to be at the end of the year, as things are shaking out, especially on the NFC side. And who would have thought how bad the NFC South would be right now? Nobody could have pictured that even 2 years ago. But the Saints have put themselves in position for a great stretch run. Any questions?
How many Renees do you work with?
There is only one. and we're all thankful for that. But he's done a great job, because he's put this show together. And as bad, 2 years ago, we never would have thought that the NFC South would be this bad. Never would have thought I'd be a TV studio host either, did you? Who would have thought that? Yes, sir.
We have Ingram's kind of back there by himself. He does have Cadet. Do you think it helps the other backs being out that he's getting into more of a groove, I guess, or do you think that really doesn't matter?
Yes, it has helped him, because he's a volume ball carrier. The more he carries it, the better he gets. That was his MO from the beginning. And when the Saints drafted him, they had to be thinking that. And I've been surprised. Now, it may be his physical status that's kept him from being that volume ball carrier, injuries or whatever. But the more he carries the ball, the better he gets. And as I'm saying, at the end of the games, he's punishing people at the end. So, yes, it helped that he got healthy at exactly the right time when Pierre Thomas and Kyrie Robinson went down. And it's going to cut into their time. Travaris Cadet, who I've been critical of because he's not a good regular player. He's got a little bit of Ingram, he's got a little bit of Robinson, he's got a little bit of Pierre Thomas, and he could fill in to those things, but he's not so much a volume player, but he's a good complementary player in all of those places. And so his role lately has been outstanding. Even though he's a kickoff returner, he's not very good. Great, yes, sir. Yes, yeah, he's getting better all the time. And, it was difficult because when he hurt his shoulder, he tried to play. And it's tough to be a tight end if you can't lift your arm up in it. So when you look at the skills that he was starting to really demonstrate last week, even taking a cheap shot, getting a cheap shot taken at him, he's certainly getting much, much more productive. Just a catch on the left sideline was a terrific play where he had to extend with both arms. So yes, he's doing much, much better. Yes, sir.
Did you ask Renee what instrument he played in the band in high school?
What the hell is this? I'm already sitting down.
That's right. Renee was the one in high school would have the kick me sign on somebody would paste on his back. But once again, with just a joy to be here with all these guys here today. A joy to be here with you Mondays. This is the best place, not to end last weekend. We're starting this week in another great week of football. Thank you for being here. And thank you for allowing me to be.